Right, hello and welcome to the Stampscapes sneak preview, a very early sneak preview. These stamps have not been posted to the website or anything like that as of yet, but there'll probably be some more information on them coming out, maybe over the weekend or something like that, or a couple days from the date of the posting of this video. Okay, so let's just get right into it. This is plate number 75B as in boy, and it's nature set number 54. Is that correct? Gosh. All right, so this image right here is a little blown up, okay, because when I printed it out, it just filled up the page like that. But these sets are all 6 by 9 inches, but maybe in this larger size printout, you can see what these look like a little bit closer, and you can see some of the more details in them. But again, they'll be smaller than this. Okay, getting right into it. What this is kind of based around are these cabins. Left and right. They're different images, slightly different from each other, but similar, same. But you can use these on the side of your cards going into your scene. So it puts us as a viewer from the perspective of, something closer to these cabins like that. So you can't stamp it in the middle of your scene, otherwise you're going to have this edge right here, with just nowhere to go. I guess you could put some trees here or something like that, but it's really meant to be used on the side of your paper, just anywhere in here like this. And then you can have the scenery in the background, or you can just put some people in the background or something like that with a quote stamp. You don't have to have it, really filled in everywhere, although you can do that, okay? I made these posts very solid so that if you stamp something in the background, or you have, you want to stamp something in here, a lake or something like that, you can just stamp it right over the top of that. You got to watch out for this little porch area like that. I wanted some light on my porch, but for the most part, this edge here is kind of silhouette, so you can, you don't have to do like masking in there, or too careful of masking. For me, if I have something in the background like this, like a lakeside in the back or something like that, and a shore or something, I'm just kind of wiping off some of the ink off my stamp and stamping it in here. It's just so it stamps a little bit lighter in this area. But visual lead-ins with the main structures, which is something new for Stampscapes. I haven't done that type of thing before, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting to put us in that kind of perspective rather than always having, something like trees or something like that in the foreground areas. So cabins and things like that, they've always been in the midground, background type of areas. Okay, so these two are really similar. Here's another image right here. Oh, by the way, so I've made these 5.5 inches tall. So you can stamp something like a 4 1/4 this way, where you're going to be cutting off some of the top like that, or you can just go in here a little bit more. Or if you're doing a quarter size piece of paper, 4 1/4 by 5.5, this pretty much fills up top to bottom in that type of scenario. It doesn't give us a lot of room in there, but 5.5 is also the size of a half page scene, so it would come out this way, and you'd have plenty of space in this open area like that. Okay, so that being said, here's another one right here. Not quite the same concept of these, but again, it's something that's coming in from that edge like that. So this is about, I forgot what it is. I think it's 5. It could be 5.5 as well, but from this top of this tree to this lower section right here, okay? Smaller cabin puts us a little bit farther back, but again, I love visual lead-ins into the scene like this, and then it carries your viewer's eye out that way. So this little walkway right along here, right along could be the water's edge, or it could just be a meadow down here. And then we have some filler people. This couple sitting on a log that I liked a lot, so I made them that size and this size right here. This couple right here in a romantic type of, I don't know, whatever pose. just like they're posing for like a wedding shot or something like that. And here's this other couple right here sitting on this rock, kind of gazing out there. So I see something like this, with a, a sunset in the background or something like that, with these figures, like right along in here in this space, or they can be sitting around right here in the foreground, whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's 54, nature set number 54. Okay, so that same type of thing. I started drawing these ones before I did these ones right here. But these ones right here are kind of urban style settings, but I wanted something a little bit more cozy and quaint, so kind of older style of whatever streetscapes I'm calling them right here, and the way this can fit onto this page. We went this way. This is the layout of my plates, by the way, so you can see how I try to cram everything in there. Cobblestones like this that you can lay going right down the middle here. You can do these types of things on opposing sides of your paper, or it could just be like the cabins, where you can have kind of this open area. I do have these rails, and this gets shifted up this way, so it's like a little rail right here, and here's the road, and this could be water down here or something like that. Or you can do these like this, like you're making a little corridor, and I'll show you all the different people that I have for this type of scenario. This is the opposite side, so this one would fit with this one right here, this right side. And this is also another right side. I love the look of this one right here, so it's like, there was one other one that I couldn't squeeze it into the plate, so that one's been canceled there. But these different people, you can put them at different locations within these scenarios, just based on the proportion. But I'll show you what I have in a latter set. So after doing these, I really came out with a lot of new characters to fit into these scenarios. It was a new type of, scenery. So, I don't know, I kind of got carried away, but I really wanted to give this new type of, whatever perspective, a lot of different things to use in there just right off the bat, to make it, viable type of, I don't know, scenic ecosystem, I guess you can say. So this right here, by the way, I'll be talking about all these things when I get the stamps back in, but these have these little edges right here, which don't kind of fit exactly with the proportions right in here, but I put it in here just in case people want to use it on its own, or, I mean, it could fit in here. But what you do is you just don't color in the sides like that, or you can get up and you wipe off the sides like that, and it could be this generic type of patterning on here in which to have your characters on the street like that. All right, but we'll get into that when I start the the concepts. Okay, so another cottage right here, with this coming in the side like that. I just really wanted another one like that to go with these right here, but these fences like that can also go with the other cabins like this. Okay, now these are 6x9s right here. These are blown up right here, so the proportions aren't exactly the same, but you can see how this cabin could go with this. Again, this is going to be smaller, but this is like a fence right here, and this could be water out this way. Or you put it like this right in here, and here you have this edge right here to your water area out here. It could just be a fence in a meadow too, but you can see how these kind of things fit in here. And then here's some extra fences, to go in the backgrounds like that. This one's going this way, this one's going the other way. One's a little bit bigger, one's a little bit smaller. First of all, for variety, but also so we can get two fences in here, as another one wouldn't fit. And I have these little rabbits just as filler stamps to, I don't know, add a few extra images to go along with your sets and basically, to get more for your money. All right. So I've been doing a lot of stamping on things like pre-printed floral papers plate number 78B, nature set number 57. And I wanted some different types of foliage, like overhanging foliage to go with different papers, but, I didn't have certain types of looks, and I really wanted it. So something like this, this is not for this one, but I don't know, I have some fall foliage papers, but also sometimes when I'm doing these different types of tree trunks, I just wanted to have a little bit more variety of the types of leaf structures that I can have hanging over into my scenes. Okay, so I have these in a couple different sizes for perspective, and a couple little smaller leaves, elements like that. So if you're doing like fall card or something like that, you can even take these. They don't even have to be within the scene, but these little elements or things that you can stamp onto, like the envelope or something like that, or on the interior of a card next to, I don't know, whatever the card is for, happy birthday or something like that, and you put some leaves, especially, these maple is like that if you're using it with these kind of more mapley looking leaves. So just, I don't know, I can get enough of, I can never have too many of like overhanging limbs like this. But these types of things, and maybe not so much this one, but these ones right here could also be your foreground, kind of leading into scenes like this. So you have this cabin like this, and, I don't know, it's kind of like a foreground type of element, but you can also have these leaves like this as bushes, or they can be overhanging like this, into this type of scenario. Okay, so there's a lot more variety. And then I have some little types of value ranges within some of these leaves. So it's not just silhouette. It gives them a little bit more of a three-dimensional type of dimension to them. So you can have something like this and have these little leaves up above. You can stamp some of these on the ground too. And, just have some fun with coloring them in. All right, so these don't all necessarily go with this type of streetscape right here. You can put these characters in any type of setting. Like snowy settings or something like that. But I have these little bikers and girls with flowers, but you can see her kind of coming down this little road right here. Again, this is like blown up a little bit, so it's a little bit smaller. This one's more true to size right here, but she can be riding down the block like that. Here's a woman, doing some, maybe some shopping like that. Or we can have these more silhouette-y characters, kind of, I would have these ones a little bit closer, and you can have these other ones like walking down the street or something like that, especially if you spread these out and you can have, a bunch of people in the streets out for, kind of a whatever, down the town or something like that. Little shoppers like this, here's a mom and her kid kind of looking into, some of the stores or whatever, walking down like that. On a spring day, character like that. I put her in two different sizes as I really liked her, but she could be walking down the street like that with her flowers, and then we can color in, some different types of colors on these floral types of things like this. All right. And her, you can color in her dress or something like that to match, the flowers. I don't know. Okay. These two are separate designs right here. These pigeons and this guy sitting on this bench. So who knows? He can be sitting on a little bench out like that area, and you can have some pigeons on the ground on the road. Going out and doing some Christmas shopping perhaps with their kid like that. A couple with a dog like that, and a little family. Rainy types of situations like this. Maybe you can stamp this right here on, I don't know, some sort of metallic maybe or something like that. That would be kind of cool to have some sort of reflection card. But it's in this type of setting right here, so maybe you just have the, that reflection, silver metallic or something like that on the ground, and this all could be just stamped on regular cardstock or something like that. And you put these people with these umbrellas or silhouettes like this stamped onto, some area, and they can be reflecting in your, I don't know, wet streets of wherever this is located. So, these two characters like that. They're more foreground oriented because they're larger, but they can be going through your snowy scenarios, and again in two different sizes with these ones right here. So anyway, a lot of new designs due out pretty soon in this next upcoming month for the most part. And these are the things that I've been working on, I don't know, for the past few weeks. Anyways, hope you like this little, hope you like the designs, the concept, and things like that. I can't wait to utilize them and to try them out in these different concepts. I'm looking at these right here, and I can just imagine some, I don't know, some nighttime type of sky or something like that up there. I think that would be really fun. Yeah, just looking at these all together like this, I don't know, ideas start swirling about. But anyways, again, hope you like them, and thanks so much for watching this sneak preview.